that's great.
Yeah, I heard you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I always want to say amen. I know. No, I
Any guests or visitors? Not, any public comment? Before we begin, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Campbell on being elected to the Fitchburg School Committee last night. And also Mr. Brooks, who was re-elected to the Gardner City Council. Okay, approval of minutes. October 1.
Move that the district committee votes to approve the minutes of the special, I'm sorry, I did the wrong one. Move that the district votes to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 1, 2025 as presented.
Okay. Any comments? If not, hearing any, call the vote, please.
Hey, John, you missed the public comment section again. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't hear
you missed it.
You were Chad.
I missed it? Never mind.
You were Chad.
welcome back.
Oh. They keep me involved in it too much.
Bless you.
Did you vote, Evelyn?
I'm still trying to sign in.
Okay. Do you want
But, yes,
Did you write here? Or you were here? Oh,
October 29th, no, I wasn't here, so I abstained.
okay. Motion passed.
Okay. Minutes of the special meeting of October 29th. Do we have a motion? Motion moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Any questions, comments? Hearing none. Call the vote, please, Julie.
Mr. Campbell.
Commissioner.
Thought I abstained that. And Gordon?
Thank you. Motion passed.
All right. Superintendent Director update. Mrs. Brown.
Okay, we're back up and going. All right, so quick presentation for tonight. We had a couple meetings yet, so. One, we've talked about this before, but now it's kind of a little bit more of a reality or action, whatever you want to say. A few weeks ago, we had talked to you in the past, the folks from the Cybridge Technology, which is right down the street here, next door to us, had reached out and asked about that parcel that the school purchased back around 2000. And a couple weeks ago, Nate Nickerson, who is the owner of the building, he doesn't work for Cybridge, he owns the building that's there, reached out again and said, hey, just interested if you want to sit down and have a conversation about that parcel. Tammy and I said, sure, let's have a conversation. So he did come in and we did talk. The company is looking to expand. And he's looking to stretch out the business, the building itself, but then really what he needs our parcel for is to then move his parking lot towards that way. So he asked about the procedures. There is because it's a municipal bill or municipal property that we own it. We have to go through 30B, Chapter 30B, but it's basically a bid process. It's not as simple as just saying, sure, we'll sell it to you. But the other thing that we also believe is that who else is going to want to buy it? It's under electric wires, and it really doesn't serve a purpose to anybody else. But we're looking at going through the procedure, what we started out doing when we met with the joint finance and capital. We talked to them about this and asked them if it was okay to get permission to move forward. So all we've done now is we did reach out to the folks at Jelinas and Ward. The first piece of the process is to get a real appraisal. I mean, you can see up here, the city's appraisal is about $246,000 for the 5 acres. Justin believes that municipal appraisers are a little bit tighter and that it might be lower, and that we might be able to get a little bit more, but that we need somebody who's gonna know what they're doing to come in and do that. So, we're just at the beginning process of this. We had some conversations. We will eventually, Nate did send us just a email to serve as his notification that he would be interested if we were interested in selling, and that's where we are right now, and we'll see where we go next.
Okay. Mr. Raymond, can we wait and hear from the committee chairs first that heard this, and then Mr. Brooks?
Thank you. Yes, that was part of the joint committee from 2 weeks ago, and we talked about it and thought, yes, the best course of action would be to, and I believe we voted that way, to recommend that the district get an appraisal of the property so we know how much we're talking about.
Scott?
Yeah, that's exactly what Calvin said.
All right, Mr. Raymond? You got a mouthful?
It's all about time.
I thought we talked about this before. It was kind of the general consensus of the board. We weren't gonna consider selling this because we all were talking about with land, once it's gone, it's gone. We'll never see it again. And we had that ties our hands of any kind of expansion. I thought we talked about this
Oh, you
before,
wouldn't
that
be
we
able to
weren't gonna
use that
pursue.
property to expand. Like I said, the power lines literally run right through it. You're not gonna be able to build
But
there.
it comes on to this side of the power line towards us.
It does, but it's not that much property that would help any big expansion. And actually, I don't recall us having the conversation that we weren't gonna sell it, because at the time, we just had the one inquiry, when we presented, we just kind of shared the information, well, yes, this property
I do
exists.
just think we remember having a conversation about it and
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't seem to be having general consensus.
All right.
All right.
And this is really just exploratory, it's not.
Correct.
Seth, question?
If parking can be built on it, could we put parking on it and expand our building into our parking lot?
I think what they're gonna have is they're gonna be able to, like I said, they're gonna extend their building. I don't think they're looking for a huge expansion and then just move their parking. I don't think they're looking to move their parking lot because, again, you start approaching right into the electrical wires. I don't think, frankly, if we got that property, if you remember, we purchased the property for $175,000. If we got a little bit more than that, I would, personally, I'd take the money and run, but who knows? It's not my decision, that's not my decision.
Yes.
What was the intent of the purchase originally?
Tammy was around, I think, but I think it was basically that Mr. Dukakis found out that the property was sitting there and just decided, hey, we'll buy it, and we bought it. Is that about it, Tammy?
Yes, it was strictly to protect and chew up a little bit to see what we could use it for in the future.
Anything else?
Yeah, so I'm not looking for any, again, we're just starting this process. I just want to make sure that everybody was aware of the inquiry and that we're moving on with the appraisal for first. All right, just a quick update on admissions. Everything that we've kind of been working towards over the last year. We're finally kind of getting to that point. So we did start, and Diana will talk much more about the other aspects that we've done in terms of admissions day and everything else. But we did have tour day a couple weeks ago, Friday the 17th and Monday the 20th of October. As you can see, pretty much all the middle schools did participate in the tour. Holy Family did participate from Gardner, but Gardner Public Schools didn't participate in the middle school, or sorry, the high school. The application, if you remember, we did have to submit by November 1st the different aspects that the state wanted, so I did submit our full approved admissions policy. I signed the attestation, which is basically just a statement that says that we believe that this doesn't violate any rights or anything like that. And then we just had to send along a link to them so they could find the admissions policy on our website. So we have submitted that, we've done our duty, and now we kind of move forward and see what happens. But we have started the process, Chrissy started her visits and everything else. Yes, sir.
Can I just comment on Gardner, please?
Yes, sure.
So, I think at the last meeting this came up, and so I talked to the Gardner superintendent, and I didn't expect that, you know, he would make a change in what they were doing within a 2 or 3 week period. But I do think in Gardner, there's been a rearrangement of some administrators at the high school, and I think that they're looking at it a little differently than they have in the past. I think the new admissions policy with the lottery is going to help in getting Gardner to be a little more interested in doing some of these things. So don't know how much change there would be this year, but I expect next year there would be a better response.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
All right, some folks were participating. If you remember, I'd sent out the information that during STEM week, that the state had reached out to us because they wanted to make MVP Academy one of the stops for the STEM week tour that they had. And so on October 23rd, we were visited by Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, Secretary of Education Patrick Tutwiler, Undersecretary of Labor Josh Cutler, if I could get that out, and the Special Assistant to the Commissioner for Education, Regina Robinson. Lauren Jones, the Secretary of Labor, was supposed to come, but unfortunately got sick that day, so but it was really nice that Mr. Cutler, who really just, they told him and he got in his car and came. He didn't really know what he was coming to, and he was thoroughly impressed. It was very good. What I really appreciated was, I wanted to make sure you had some of the pictures, Lieutenant, all of the folks from the state came right in and immediately connected with the kids. We're talking with the students and everything else. And it was just great because the week before when we had done the Chamber of Commerce thing, all the business owners kind of came in and they were almost kind of scared of the kids. Like when we walked them in, they were all kind of like, you know, it's like at a zoo. They were just kind of watching and they didn't want to go and talk. So the fact that we had folks who came in, the kids really appreciated it. It was an excellent opportunity to show off what we've done there. We did receive at that, a couple days before, we got the actual full announcement at a different STEM event where they brought all the folks who had earned aspects of the grant, the Capital Skills Grant. And we did find out that we did get $500,000 to support the MVP plumbing program. So we'll get going on that. It technically, again, will not start until 2026, so we got a ways to go on that.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask Tom, what was the, I know there was some issue before that with Ms. Bennett and her hesitation of acknowledging. I saw her that particular day. I was curious.
Yeah, no, she's come around. I mean, I think if you recall, the basic issue was that they had changed the name of the grant in terms of the application process. It had been, and we applied it to start the other two programs. It was the After Dark program that we were applying on. They changed the name, but they didn't shut down the After Dark website. So we kept on going to the After Dark website looking for the information when they were going to post the grant, and it never popped up. So we just kind of waited, and the next thing we knew, when we called, they said, oh, well, we changed the name. Well, where's that? And when we found it, it was too late for us to apply. I sent multiple letters saying this was clearly a clerical error that we could not control. Can we please apply for the grant? She said, no, it's too late. But she says nothing but good things about MVP now. She's been there multiple times. I'm biting my tongue, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
The capital grant award that we received, the skills capital grant that we received, was applied for in which fiscal year?
So we have it now, so we can start purchasing equipment now. But again, the kids won't be in there until fall. But we'll have everything. What we'll have to start doing is, you guys have all been in the space, we'll start building the booths for the kids, the work booths and everything else. We'll have it ready to go. We'll hire staff, next spring and everything else for the fall.
But when did we apply for that money?
We have it. We were given that grant. Yeah.
I understand that, it was just awarded.
Yes.
When did we apply for it?
Oh, when did we apply for it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, 2024.
And it was supposed to be awarded when?
Last year.
last year.
Yes.
So it was appropriated and unawarded for more than a year.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
yes. And the description that we got, to be honest, from EOE was to
Interest
pay,
rates are high.
no, but what they talked about was, for all the grants, so again, if you can see, it was 13.5 million that went to a bunch, and the great thing was, is Montachusett and South Shore were the two places that got the most
I
money,
think,
so we're
I
really
think
happy.
since we had to wait so long for the grant.
I-
think
to
maybe
be
we should
perfectly
ask-
honest with
we
you,
should
I-
ask for interest on that.
To be honest, I think that was part of the deal. But, you know, so it did take quite a while, but we have it now, and we'll move forward and see how it goes, so, very good.
And just to follow up to that, that was also the program that got delayed a year for being approved. So the grant that was funding
Correct.
the equipment for our program that was appropriated
Yep.
and not given to us was
Correct.
also for a program they didn't let us start out.
Correct, and that's a very, thank you for mentioning that actually, Bill, because we are in the process right now because, and it's not us, it's technically the sending districts that have to do it. We're in the process of applying to open a new program. So it's just the basic paperwork that you have to do to start a new program. That is due the end of actually it's the end of this week that that's due. But Katie's been working directly with the folks who are coming to it, and to be quite honest, we basically kind of showed them what they have to write. So it should be pretty easy, and we'll be applying those. And again, I don't think they're going to give us a $500,000 grant and then not give us the program. So I feel pretty good about this one. We'll see. So, fingers crossed. But really happy to get that. Looking forward to get that program up and running. One thing while talking about MVP, next month, I'm going to have, we usually try to have one of our monthly meetings, have continuing ed come in, the Monty Tech Nights program come in and give you guys an update and presentation on what they're doing. But just as a preview, this is some of the upcoming programs that we have happening with the night school. These are all the no-cost trainings, or many of them are no-cost trainings. The Mass CEC was the big grant that we got last year. One of the things that we will be doing is we are going to be holding some of those adult workforce trainings down at MVP. That was the plan all along, that we would use it for adult workforce as well. So Mr. Brogan is teaching currently the carpentry class. He'll be doing some classes down there, working on that. So we're really excited about that opportunity, and I'm really excited, looking forward to having Ms. Roth and the crew from Continuing Ed coming in and you guys give a full explanation where we are. I think everybody got at their seat a little packet. Obviously, everybody knows what's been happening, the concerns that are happening nationwide in terms of SNAP benefits and everything else. And immediately there was a lot of conversation at the school when this was happening of, okay, we have families that are going to be very much affected by this. And just resources started pulling together. So one of the things, we do our annual holiday baskets. We are taking donations still. You should have, in fact, I think it's on the cover, the first one you got, to see if you or if you know of others who might be willing to donate. That usually gets us to 50 or plus holiday baskets that we can give to families of need. On the top right there, Vicki and the folks at Guidance went around and made sure to get pantry information and service information for all of our 18 cities and towns, so those are available. And then what we had for the last couple of years, our own pantry, the Nook, that's in place. And that's all of this information then Diana then sent out to parents and families, so they all received this information. Again, just to make sure that we're supporting families in need, at this time, depending on, we don't know how many are using it, but anyhow.
If there's additional resources in our town, we would be let to know.
Sure, absolutely. Send it along to Diana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Brown, when we had spoken, do we have sufficient baskets? Or do we need
I haven't gotten an update from, that's a good question. I haven't gotten an update from Kathy to where they are. I will say this, some of the folks who came to advisory night, they had set up a little donation table there. They did very, very well that night. But, I mean, even if we get donations now, it'll be carried over to next year. So, no matter what, if there's donations, we'll take it.
Did you have something else?
Oh, wait, excuse me.
Physical baskets.
Say it again?
Are you looking for the made baskets or like the physical baskets to make the baskets?
So basically, it's that's a good question in terms of the baskets. We basically, it's not an actual basket, it's pretty much a box that they get, but we call them baskets. But what we're really just looking for is donations to help for all the stuff that we put inside and everything else.
I didn't know if you were looking for any baskets, because
Yeah.
my grandfather works at Global Floors, it's right down there, and he
Oh,
uses
very
a
cool.
million of them, so.
And those baskets are for things, we do a Thanksgiving and we also do one.
And
for
Christmas, that's a good
Christmas.
point, yeah, so,
So-
back to your point.
There's, we have the space, we'll collect whatever.
Plenty of
people are willing
things.
to give.
Not baskets.
Yes, not literal baskets, yes. So,
For a literal basket.
pardon me?
Also, if you're looking for
Oh.
literal baskets, I also know a person who can obtain some of those as well.
it might make it look nicer for some, we're not gonna turn them away, that's for sure. And then just one other thing, I want to make sure everybody knew about this beforehand. Those of you who have been around for a while, you're aware of Reads Across America. We've had them come visit our campus 2 years. Last year when they came through, they made their stop at Montachusett. But we will be hosting Reads Across America on campus on the night of December 8th. If you don't know what it is, Reads Across America is an organization that starts up in Maine. They load up dozens, I'll say, of 18-wheelers filled with Christmas trees. They drive down from Maine down to Arlington National Cemetery, and during that process, they make stops where they honor, local veterans who may have passed and everything else. And they also sometimes stop and spend the night at those towns. And actually, they do plan on spending a night, at least right now we've been told they plan on spending a night in Fitchburg. So what they'll do is they'll come here, they'll park all their trucks, they basically take all the way around the building, it's filled with the trucks. And they're actually going to be staying at the DoubleTree down the road. That night, we'll give them a meal in the cafeteria, but that'll be after a little ceremony that we'll do in the auditorium. You can see the top right picture is from one of the ceremonies that we did. I think that's the 2018 one. But it's a real nice event. If you have the opportunity to come, it would be fantastic. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that well in advance, because I know the holiday seasons, calendars fill up. But if you're free on the night of December 8th, it's a really nice event to come to. So.
Mr. Brown, we spoke last week, you mentioned something about an Amazon list or something you could buy to send to them local.
Yes, there is an Amazon gift list. I don't have the info.
I can send it to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, would you send it to everybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Email it? I think it was emailed to us.
We've been sending out a lot of info, so I did not personally send that out, so I don't know.
About the note, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we can get that out.
And for those of you that are fans of Channel 5 News.
Oh,
our
yes.
kids- Did you see it? Our kids did Good Morning Eye Opener and filmed from the now.
Right, so if you don't watch Channel 5 News, the only reason I ever cancel school is if Cindy Fitzgibbon tells me on the news that's at 6 o'clock, but anyhow, so I do watch it all the time. What they do is they have organizations that record groups of people just saying, good morning, kind of like the Good Morning America thing, they say Good Morning Eye Opener. Melissa Lord, who's Katie's assistant for the community outreach stuff, videotaped the kids explaining what the Nook was, what the purpose of it was, and the importance of supporting their fellow students and families. They yell Good Morning Eye Opener, and it goes off. If you haven't seen it, obviously we have multiple links. We'll send those out so you can check it out. It's less than a minute. It's very quick. But it was a nice little thing that was done, and certainly let the folks, what the folks say after the video is really sweet too, so it's a good thing. So, that's all I got.
All set? Wow. Okay, we have an out-of-state field trip.
I move that the district committee votes to approve an overnight out-of-state field trip for 50 ROTC to travel to New York City from the December 1 until December 2nd to visit military, American historical, and educational sites.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, going to call the vote, Julie?
I need 4 votes from the news athlete and the unfortunately.
Yes.
set? All right. Our student representative, Natalie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
You're up.
Natalie, just in case any new members are here. For the fall sports, they're finishing up right now. Volleyball team qualified for the state tournament and played against Dennis Yarmouth in a preliminary round on October 30th. Unfortunately, the girls were defeated, but they had a great season. For the girls varsity field hockey team, they advanced to the state championship last Tuesday. They also were defeated, but they did have huge success on the field. Recently, they raised $14,000 to the Cancer Fund of Central Mass, so that was great for them. And then the girls and boys varsity soccer team also qualified for postseason play, and they were defeated on Monday. But congratulations to all those teams who won and furthered on to the state championships. For the boys golf team, they brought home their district championship title. This makes 3 years in a row. For cross country, they're finishing up their last meeting on Saturday. This is for varsity runners only who qualified. And for winter sports, they're already starting up with preparing for the season. I know girls basketball conditioning is going to be starting next Wednesday and every Monday and Wednesday up to the season. So that's awesome. Congratulations to all those sports. And for our co-op, we have 157 seniors participating in our co-op program, increasing every meeting. And for our clubs, we have student council hold up another successful homecoming dance and spirit events. They also hosted a successful Halloween costume fundraiser in support of cancer research. So we've had a lot of cancer research fundraisers, especially NHS has been working on it as well. And then freshman elections for class office and student council will take place on November 10th. And as for National Honor Society, they inducted 71 new inductees. That was last night. Monday night. And they also hosted a blood drive on November 1st with a partnership with Peterson Lions Club. My group in particularly is working on the blood cancer fundraiser. We thus far has raised $300 on glow sticks at football games. We're going to do the powder puff coming up as well. Let's see here. And then as mentioned before for the Race Across America, the DRTC, I believe the March-a-thon was in support of that. I did talk to some of the members. They said they didn't raise as much as they were hoping, but you know everything counts. And they're preparing for their Marine Corps Ball, which is going to be taken on November 10th. And for the Multicultural Club and the Pastry Club have teamed up and hosted a coffee house concert earlier today. Mr. Silva and Mr. McClendon played, and specialty coffees and pastries were available to all who attended. So a lot of people in their study period of period 9 and there was like candles set up. They usually do a really good job. And for Skills USA, they're preparing for their local competitions and the annual Christmas party in partnership with the Clark YMCA. And then 12 students will be attending Fall State Leadership Conference. That's on November 23rd through November 24th. And for just general upcoming events, the Powder Puff game, which is next Wednesday. They were just on the field if you saw them passing by or practicing. Let's see here. And then I already mentioned that our Glow for Blood Cancer is going to be there too. I do have a little QR code too that we are trying to fundraise as well. Our goal is $500. We've made $300 so far, not including any profit we might need to take out from spending. And then Ms. Carlson and Ms. Smith will be hosting the Bulldog Roundtable tomorrow morning. And parent-teacher conferences will be held on November 18th and November 20th. And lastly, students are working hard to keep up their academic work as quarter one closes this Friday.
Any questions? Mr. Olson?
What is a Bulldog Roundtable?
They talk mostly about the issues. It gives the students opportunity to voice their opinions and stuff, and anyone's welcome.
Anything else? I found two numbers there very interesting. It had 71 new members to the Honor Society.
Yes, it's really great because about 2 to 3 students combined each do a community service project. So if you do the math there, they're doing so much for the community right now. I know a lot of people are doing cancer from the Breast Cancer Month, and that doesn't even include already inductees are starting to make their NHS projects and fundraise and everything. It's great.
It was also nice to see, was 157 seniors are on co-op, so they're getting out, that's great.
And also for the, the after-school nights that you mentioned earlier.
Tour day and open house?
Montachusett nights. I'm trying to think of the name. And open to the public, the classes at night, sorry.
Open house?
The classes. Yes. So the classes that they host at night, I know a few seniors who weren't able to go on co-op are working there now, so that's really great too.
All right, anything else? If not,
Nice job, man.
let's get the principal up here.
Thank you, Next time.
Way to show up the principal, what's she gonna do today?
I know, I should just go home. I just need to go home now. So, nice job, Natalie, thank you. You can stay, honey, but if not, you can go. It's up to you. Admissions Day, and I know everyone's sort of touching all those things. So Admissions Day on October 10th, as you know, every year we invite principals, counselors, and really one of the things that Chrissy wanted, I think it was last year, was the first year that we really wanted to also invite special education staff and also staff who work with L students, right? Because sometimes they're the ones that are really giving the information to the students. They work with them daily to ensure that everybody was well informed. We had our special education staff as well as people from student support services, our school counselors, Chrissy, all the administrators, just to put faces to names and really talk about programming. The big, obviously, topic this year was really reviewing the new admissions policy. Bless you. We wanted to make sure that everybody is obviously up to date and informed, certainly answer any questions. We also always open up so folks can go on a tour of our building. There are often new staff that come through, or often the administrative assistant to the counseling office also come. They're the ones that really interact quite frequently with Chrissy and Donna Schaff. To submit, applications and paperwork and stuff. So it's really nice to have them here as well. So a tour was provided for those who were interested, and also a nice lunch in our culinary that is always an absolute bonus. Our annual fall advisory meeting on October 15th, we had 370 members in the, it wasn't in the PAC, I'm sorry about that. It was in the cafeteria, but we have a list of new members since last spring that have joined us this year. And again, one of the things we often talk about is to ensure that we continue to be relevant, that we're tapping into the resources in our communities, and to make sure that we continue to grow and expand. Again, we know this is a wonderful opportunity for us to get students on co-op, to talk about really what are those industry needs to make sure that we continue to have our hand on the pulse. Our special education advisory met as well with Vicki and also our LPN advisory with Terry Dushan. They also meet during those evenings as well. We hosted PSATs. There's been a lot of talk about SATs and PSATs, as many colleges are doing now. SATs are optional. So I think the number has declined a little bit over the years. It's starting to a little bit, because not all students are just as anxious to take the SATs, but we had 46 sophomores and we had 108 juniors sit for the PSATs. They were offered during the day for a very small cost. Again, for those students that do want to take the SATs, we always encourage them to. This is a practice test to really get the students comfortable with the format of the testing, timing, etc. Also, it gives us information and the students on AP potential. So often, depending on how the students do, it does send in the report also with feedback, and also looks at whether or not which areas they would be most successful on based on those preliminary scores of the PSATs. Our annual tour days and open house, as you know, we continue to do a day and a half of tour days. So Friday was a half day where we hosted schools. Then that following Monday, we had a full day of tours. We had almost 1,200 students come and rotate through our building. And then in the evening, so the rah-rah during the day, we get the kids here with their middle schools. We want to make sure they also go home excited to then tell their parents about Montachusett and bring their families back in the evening with parents, family members. We often see, we have kids sometimes like you talk to them, I'm like, oh, what grade are you in? And they're in 5th grade, but they're here, they're checking out the school. So starting them young. And, you know, students, when they come in, they go through different informational sessions really to, again, learn about admissions, learn about different clubs and activities, athletics, and really, truly what we offer at Montachusett. They all receive information on VIP, the application, and whatnot. So, we also do an optional overview.
No, I just want to jump on when you had that open house. I was just curious, on that Monday, how was the turnout for the parents that evening?
It's always steady
Even though they're
here.
fifth graders,
It's
overall?
you know, we see, you know, it's just such a great mix of, we have parents that are like, hey, I'm hoping my 4th kid gets in here, you know? So we have a lot of, God, the amount of money to graduates, you know, my kids went here, you know, so we have a lot of return people that are coming. We also have a lot of our current parents that come. We often have, you know, this is interesting, and I love to see this, because we have so many seniors currently and juniors that just think, I can't wait to get out there in the big world, and I can't wait to be done with school. They're the first ones that are attending our open houses because they want to come back and visit everyone. So it's also so nice that they come with younger siblings, and they really just want to tour the school. So it's a great mix. Sometimes we go through little lulls. I mean, as we try to walk around through the programs, and the place is booming. Sometimes you walk in and the teacher's like, I can breathe, you know, but it's constant, so we get people through. So it's great to do
What I
that.
would say is it's nonstop. When we open at 5:30, it starts at about 5:10, because we also do, Diana is a great thing that I'll try, but it's packed. People are flowing in, and then it stops for like 20 minutes. It's because literally there is not an open parking spot. There's
Yeah.
literally no place for a
Yeah.
park.
It always had a good reputation. You can see, for example, look at how many committee members are sitting there, past graduates from here, hello, and their kids went here, and then so on and so on. So, you know, the momentum is there, obviously,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
So we do start the evening with an optional overview. So again, I think for many returning parents, this year we had a bigger crowd than last year, and I think that is because obviously the changes with admissions. Chrissy Lamy, as you know, I cannot give her enough kudos. She does an outstanding job, and really to go over the overview too. And you know, one of the things we're talking about, right, the attendance piece, like I'm on the side and I'm like, although, you know, there are a lot of top 27, trust me, when your kid gets here, we're going to have a big issue if your kid is missing that week. So they were all just kind of chuckled, but really, again, for them to understand the expectation and why kids want to be here, but really what they need to do and commit to once they come here in order for them to be successful, because we want our students to be successful. We also have students who speak different languages, again, to allow an opportunity for people to come. We tell them, I never want someone not to have access to our school or information because of the lack of the language. As you know, I speak Spanish, so I'm bilingual, but I can't help with other languages, but we have many students that can, and we really have been capitalizing on that and have a table, and it literally says translation services in all the different languages, and then we make sure that we help our families with those needs too, which has been very welcoming and very well received in our community. I know Natalie just mentioned homecoming game and dance. We haven't had the best season, but we won our homecoming football game, which was really fantastic. And then we hosted over 700 students in our cafeteria for homecoming dance, which again, wicked good time, but oh my goodness, a lot of kids in our cafeteria, but we had a great time. School Council Committee, we started again, this year was the first meeting on October 30th. It's myself, Katie Schmidt, Sarah Storm, who's one of our school counselors, Christine Santry, our skills instructor, Keith McLinden, history teacher. We have one student representative who's a junior in an audit type program, and then 4 parents. I had put an email out. I sent school messengers with getting information out to families and saying we're looking for parents and community members to serve. We have 2 freshman parents, 2 junior parents. And again, that just gives you the agenda of things that we discuss, and obviously when we meet again, we'll be discussing different topics as we go through, and really just getting input to and to ensure that we continue a strong partnership between our school and certainly parents and families in our community. VIP sessions information, we had a total of 264 students, and it tells you the number of students and which town they were from. Down below, the participating shops and instructors. You'll notice that we have vocational instructors, we have paraprofessionals, we have people that work in our cafeteria, so the opportunity for kids to come in and interface, and the opportunity for our staff that perhaps serve in a different role to be able to take the lead and teach is absolutely amazing. And I love that so many people are stepping up that wouldn't otherwise be able to. So hopefully we, get more teachers, more future teachers to go in that. And these are just upcoming dates. Again, Natalie did a great job of giving some of that information. So again, you'll see that on there. And then Donnie, do you mind putting, I wanted to highlight just a few little things on here. You want to put the pictures up really quick? Just a few things, and I forgot which one I had first. But somebody asked about the round table. So the Bulldog round table last year, so it's this one right here. Last year we started talking about, so I love the kids, right? I think back in the day the thought of me coming into the principal's office was very, very scary. That's not the case anymore, and kids want to tell us lots of stuff sometimes. But I really wanted to provide an opportunity for students to just sort of have an open meeting. We promise food because they always come for food. First thing in the morning, our buses get here early for kids to come and really talk about school issues and things that may be going on, and just to have an open forum. Ben comes to some of those, which I'm glad you're here today, but we've talked about activities that we want for seniors, or even issues about the school lunch, like even school meals, making sure that we continue again to grow and improve our school culture with student feedback. This is from our National Honor Society induction the other day. Again, 71 new members. Monday night were inducted into the National Honor Society. The bullet drive that we had on Saturday, we partnered with Mass General and the Peterson Lions Club. We had a total of 49 donors. The woman from Mass General sent an email that she said with the donations that we had just here on Saturday, that it was a potential to help 115 patients, which is super, super cool, right? So again, the stuff that the kids are doing, this is something that we do in the spring and in the fall, so we have another blood drive scheduled for the spring. Again, the 10-mile march, we had 135 cadets. They're up to a little bit over $26,000 that they raised. It is higher than last year. They've done a great job. They're continuing to collect funds until this Friday. So again, we'll see that number grow. And then they had the promotion ceremony in the auditorium. They were able to, I think it was like 1:30, 1:30, so maybe 1 o'clock is when they started with the ceremony. Again, another way to celebrate our students and think about the community and what the students are giving back. And last but not least, I know this is a small little picture, but for Halloween, this is just staff dressing up for Halloween. So the students, so everyone had to pay $1 if you wanted to dress up to come to work, or for students to dress up. So again, going to a Cancer Society too, and raising funds. But I wanted just to highlight a little bit of our community and what we do here, because we want kids to want to come here, as you know, and the same with our staff, right? And we continue to do what we do because of these amazing things in students. So, thank you, Bonnie.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes, I just want to make a comment that is very well organized, and I want to commend you and your staff. It just, I've seen other vocational schools do it. Everybody does a different path, but this is really organized, and the kids are really involved. And I can see how sending schools are very envious of Monty Tech, well, jealous, whatever terminology you want to use. And the fact that I just want to make a comment, just going back to the new incoming freshmen. My granddaughter came as a freshman here, and the parents' night, when information night, I got some feedback and some of my neighbors. They said, Monty Tech, they don't take any crap. You better dress this way, you better be this high dressed, blah, 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 blah. And they said, here's the rules. If you don't follow the rules, go back to your school. I love that.
We don't say it just like that.
No, I'm emphasizing it that way, I'm just saying.
Yes.
I like the.
Diana's turning people away.
I can be scared sometimes.
No, I'm just saying, it's nice that it was regimented, and to a certain extent, and when my son comes over and goes, wow, that's pretty cool over there, where do you get this at,
Thank you.
when she was at Lunenburg or this other school, whatever the case, not to pick on Lunenburg, sorry.
Every student wants to meet with success, right? So
Yes.
I feel like it's important for us to be very clear with the expectation,
Right.
and then they follow suit.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to say is, the pictures that you show and everything else, you need to get some of these into the Sentinel. I know a lot of people get it electronically now, they don't buy papers anymore, but you know, they will do stories, and I haven't seen, you know, I see
Yeah.
no show but tech at
I know.
Pittsburgh paper.
Well, and
What
one
the hell
of
are they
the
doing there?
things,
Because
I
the
know,
towns are-
it's, yeah, because we, like, there's a pile of to-do still on the desk, so I don't know. But
It's-
this, and one of the things, our Facebook page, again, Tom mentioned Melissa Lord, like,
Yeah.
Saturday morning, I was here at
Sure.
6 o'clock in the morning, right, for the blood drive and getting ready. And I sent pictures of the kids lining up, I sent pictures of blood mobile, and I
And
said,
they don't
hey,
run it?
Melissa, push it out, 2 minutes, it's out on social media. And I can't tell you how many times it was shared, right? We
Yeah,
push it
okay,
by and we
all right.
send the school messenger. So, and Instagram, I don't really do
We're
Instagram
old
much,
school,
but
we look at papers.
it goes, I know, but that's where kids and families are going, and you know what, everyone wants that instant, and it can be shared in 2 seconds.
Fine.
Honestly, when I send a school email out, often parents, they have a group somewhere where people are sharing information, and sometimes, oh, you forgot to do this, and it's on this group somewhere, but, okay. So the information travels fast, but yeah,
I will reach out to the editor and make a point that I want a front page,
yeah.
paper, electronically,
Sure.
of my tax.
So if I can quickly, so last summer, we looked into this, so just to make sure that everybody understands. The Fitchburg Sentinel does not exist as a Fitchburg Sentinel.
All front paper.
They were purchased by a company that's actually housed up by Lowell. That's why most of the stories you see are from Lowell and Neshoba and everything else. Fitchburg Sentinel literally is 3 people. They have 1 reporter, 1 sports reporter, and 1 photographer, and that's it. So that's why we don't get a whole lot of action here, because it doesn't exist the way it used to be. It used to be a great newspaper locally, it would be a great.
Yeah, they have the student of the month and everything, I'm like,
That's all gone.
And I think
So-
they're great if we send the articles and they just literally can hit print, but again, on social media, you post things, you hashtag things that everyone can look up in 2
Yeah, we do
seconds.
our
and
best.
boom.
For a while, we were getting a lot of, actually, the Gardner News was being very helpful to us
oh my
recently.
God, that's better.
Yeah.
Garden news is kind of on
They're
the
very thorough.
too.
Oh, I think they all have.
That's
Yeah,
all-
Athol Daily News has
Yeah,
got the
I
same
think they all,
problem.
I think they're all going away.
Yeah, the Athol Daily News is all about Greenfield. It has nothing to do with Athol anymore.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, is the Greenfield Recorder on there?
They're still going, but almost like if you wanted something done about like Athol Orange area, it's mostly Greenfield stuff. There's very little about Athol. It's terrible.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you, good job.
The tour day, 1,200 students. So you said it was a fifth grader who came?
Well, at night, no, at night, that's only for
That's
8th
helpful.
graders. No, at night, it's just great to see some families, and sometimes they come with a sibling, that there are times that there's a family there, and I think they're 7th or 8th grade, and they're just younger
No problem, I
kids.
just, like, the way I connected it, that was one.
No.
And then out of each of the communities that sent, what would have been the total number if they sent everybody that we would have expected? Like, I don't know the school age attending children number that we would expect to be out of each of the ones. I'm guessing some of the schools still weren't sending all of their
That
students.
is
it was
correct,
still in
so
one
that would have been
community.
8th graders. I don't know the number.
So I can speak for Ashby. We had 5 kids not come and 20 come. So we had a huge amount that chose to come for the tour as opposed to not coming.
And that feels like a shift too from historical challenges where it was very much pushed not to come and it was a very limited
Correct.
section, so.
And at one point, we were
The
doing,
number's much higher in
Yeah,
the community.
yeah,
I was
we were
still
doing it
kinda
one
curious
day.
if we still had some of the sending districts that had a lot that were staying back or not. if
we
any
had
visibility.
some not attend at all.
Yeah, just Gardner, you said,
Yeah.
right? Is the only
Just
one that
Gardner.
didn't, right?
We still cooperate.
All right,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
you all set?
That's it, and then you have the enrollment reports,
All right.
all right?
Enrollment?
Yeah. Anyone have any questions?
Sure. Mr. Barber?
I noticed Holden has a waiting list, which kind of like unusual. Has anybody figured out what happened to Holden? How come all of a sudden they're really interested in here? Or-
So the last, if you recall,
They don't want to.
right after COVID,
The number.
agreed, all of a sudden, they started filling.
They're way over.
I don't want to say that maybe it's because they don't necessarily want to go to their home district, but
Well, actually, I think part of what I heard, because my bus company does the Wachusett School District, they've actually had a large increase in people moving to Holden, because I think Wachusett's feeling the pressure of that.
Sure.
So I think, if you look at the percentages, they had a significant increase in their school district, I'm sure we're getting some of that, the ones that want to come into vocational, so that's what I heard through the grapevine, through the bus company. so.
And Ross, who doesn't want to come here? I mean,
I just noticed. it's
But
been-
no, there's been a huge increase,
For
absolutely.
years and years, they were very low.
Absolutely,
and they just
absolutely.
started. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
excellent. All right, I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Diana?
Yes.
Okay, we have a retirement?
Sure, we had two of our longtime cafeteria workers, Rhonda Lyson and Sherry Valley, will be retiring
We'll send a reminder.
both in February. Rhonda specifically wanted to retire on February the 13th, which is, yes, Friday the 13th. Wanted that, so wish her the best.
After 13 years.
Yes. Now it's getting creepy. And then Mike Banks, who I think most of you probably know, Mike's been here for a long time. He'll be retiring in January from Color. Yes, there you go, yes. Actually, Adam,
Do you have his replacement?
it's posted, it closes, posting closes next Friday.
I'm gonna say yes.
Resignation.
Yep, there's just the one, evening custodian, somebody that we had hired, and after a couple months decided she was gonna move on, so wish her the best.
New hires.
Yep, you can see who we feel, still have some paraprofessionals that we take care of, cafeteria workers as well. And this, I will say this, the last one, Mr. Doyle, the continuing ed program was really, obviously, the daytime IT folks finish up and are gone. And they really said that they could use some IT support. The level of technology that they're bringing into their programs is fantastic, with the usual instructional technology that we use. So we decided to create that position. It's mostly for the night school, but they start early enough that after some of the afternoon support desk things that Donnie has on the deck, they help for that. So it's great to have that person on board.
All right. Swenson.
Let's go, girl.
Okay, here we go.
Do your thing.
Move that the district committee approve for a second reading policy KDVA, non-custodial parents' rights.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comments, questions? If not, you want to call the vote, Julie? Okay, passed unanimous.
Okay. Move that, this next one, move that the district committee approve for second reading policy EBC, emergency plan, EBCD, emergency closing, ECAF, security cameras in schools, and delete policy EBCB, fire drills, and EBCC, bomb threats, as those activities are included in the new policy EBC.
Second.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Questions, discussion, Mr. Barber?
I got to apologize to Diane. ECAF, I had intended to reach out after the first reading. The beginning of the second page has a spot about recordings shall be stored, blah, 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 shall be retained for 30 days, after which time they shall be permanently deleted. Which I know at the time that was modified, there was somebody that was very interested in making sure that language remained, the permanently deleted language. I'm wondering if there's a reason that we need to have that in there now, and/or do we have the capacity to store longer than 30 days? What reminded me of this was this morning I had the police on my doorstep looking at my video footage from a while ago. And I was able to provide it to them, which made them very happy. So I'm just wondering, do we have storage capacity for more than 30 days? And/or is there a reason to, after 30 days, we delete everything, just because we want to delete it?
So I wish Mike were here. It is a short time that it might, and it might be that it's 30 days, that literally after that, it was deleted, that we couldn't keep it any longer, that happened.
And that was not a change that the policy committee, that's been there for a while.
No, it happened in 2018, that was modified.
Yeah, to the 30 days.
John, do you have anything on
Yeah, I think when we,
it? Yeah.
That maxes out the storage capacity of the server. We can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, but the exception is the beginning part of it. If there's something that is by law required or a regulation, or if, and by law required, if it was something going on with the police force or whatever, that would be then pulled off and kept for a longer period of time. Those are.
I know what we
those are not
discussed in
places.
subcommittee that, when we had conversations with this, a lot of times, we don't make any significant changes unless the school brings it to us and says, okay, we want to keep it longer than 30. So if the old policy was 30, unless it's a specific request to go longer, shorter, or change it, we generally don't change it that
No,
much.
I just.
So we just keep it status quo unless there's a specific reason to make those changes.
There was a change, there was a specific change made in 2018 for a very specific reason.
It was adopted.
And we just kept it in place.
It didn't exist.
It was adopted in 2018.
Yeah.
But
And
that,
I remember it being a discussion in 2018, right there, that it was just about storage capacity, and if we wanted to keep it longer than 30 days, we needed a big server upgrade, and they were just like, no.
And one thing I should say is just make sure everybody knows, even since I've been here since 2014, I don't want to say that we've tripled, but the number of cameras we have, I would guarantee you that every single school system is jealous of the number of cameras we have. Outside, interior, exterior, we added them out to the football fields, we have fields anywhere and have cameras everywhere and anywhere, and that's why I think the storage becomes a big issue, is how many cameras we have.
Monica,
Yeah, a couple questions. Are the cameras on continually, or are they motion sensitive?
The cameras stay on continuously, but when there's motion in front of them, it trips the camera to start the recording.
All right, so you're not just recording anytime, you're recording when the motion trips the circuit.
Correct. We only record when motion trips the server, and we can press it down as small as we can.
All right, and what is the method that you're storing it on? Is it a hard drive?
We're using a server with about 40 terabytes of disk space at 7,200 RPMs.
All right, how many people have no idea what he's talking about?
It's only 40 terabytes? Come on, it's another 40.
It's just slightly bigger than a gigabyte, 1,000.
Just a little.
Tammy, do you have something?
It's 1,000, no, I said it's 1,000 times bigger than that.
Oh, John, I thought you were talking about the 1 mega floppy disk that we used to have.
Tammy, did you have something to add here?
My answer, I had no clue what Donnie.
Just one more, Donnie. You're purging it by date, in other words, first in is the first out? Okay, thank you.
Well, since so many are confused, we should make a motion to have Donnie explain it to them. Just teasing you, Donnie.
All right.
Any questions other than that?
No, I was just going to ask you, are we all set here?
For this one, as far as I'm concerned,
Okay.
there's this question.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yeah,
correct?
make a motion. And-
Okay.
Yeah, I second it.
All right. Anything else? If not, let's call a vote. All set? Okay.
Now we're getting first readings. I'm still going.
Yes.
Move that the district committee approve for a first reading policy EVAB, integrated pest management.
Second. Yeah, and a footnote, they've got to
Okay.
make people pass.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Olson, second?
MASC is trying to make that much work, we need a policy on pest management.
It's integrated.
That's
21 years ago.
I'm trying to think. I have to look it up.
The original one? 21 years ago?
Yeah.
It's been there forever.
It was adopted in 2004.
Some of these.
Okay.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you tell us what integrated pest management is?
The changes that were made basically say that you have to have a licensed person here, has to be a qualified outside services, maintaining it, it's looking for bugs and stuff like that. mostly.
And spray
Certified.
pesticides
But-
unless you're licensed.
Bugs
Right.
and stuff.
But yeah, it's,
Yeah, the big thing was, the big thing about the policy was that they're licensed
I
and
read it
properly trained
yesterday.
chemicals.
yeah, and so we just kind of updated it a little bit. Russ? Mr. Barber?
Anything else? Mr. Barber?
I think it might be related to some pest management that was being done in the Worcester Public Schools a few years ago that entered the HVAC system and ended up emptying the school. That's my guess as to why all of a sudden there's a big push on this. I don't know.
Anything else? Not? Call a vote. We all set? All right.
All right, move that the district committee approve for a first reading, JHB, truancy for a first, truancy, JKD/JKEE, student suspension / student expulsion, JE, student attendance, JO, employment of students, and JP, student gifts and solicitations.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, call the vote, please. Yes, sir.
Just a back question. Was this updated in line with, and does it correlate with some of the regulations that we had relative to this topic, maybe a half a dozen years ago by the state?
Yeah, it includes all of the state updates, references for it, and also we often check with MASC or a couple of other schools to see what they're doing for it and if there's any changes on any of these policies.
Thank you.
We make sure that it's up to date.
Yep.
And just as an aside, I mean, these are all for first reading, so if anybody has any questions when you go home and read, you know, if you need reading at night to get to sleep or whatever works perfectly, you know, certainly send me an email or whatever. Our next policy meeting is going to be November 19th. So we're down to once a month.
We set. Okay.
All right, one more. This one I'll do. Move that the district committee delete policy EDB, maintenance and control of textbooks and instructional materials and equipment, as this is addressed in the student handbook.
Second.
There's a second comment is, there basically is nobody else that has this particular policy. It's covered very well in the handbook, which has now become one of my favorite things to read. And so we think there's no real reason to be having this. It's something that's going to be changing and more to do with electronics. It's a very old policy, which was probably very appropriate way back then.
Anything else? Seeing none, Julie? Okay. All right, motion passed. We'll go on to,
We'll have a list next meeting. We'll have another list. We're going to go through all of them.
all right.
22nd. We discussed three things. One was the potential replacement of the outdoor athletic complex, including the field redesign, new bleachers, press box, all those types of things. We had discussed it last year, brought it back up. Committee listened. We made the recommendation that we move forward with gaining more information, getting a concrete plan put together that can be brought to the full school committee for a vote. It's a project that would range between $3.5 to $4.5 million. But the existing complex is aging, unusable in some areas, and probably a safety hazard overall. So that's something that I think we need to look at carefully. The second item that we discussed was the potential sale of the property. We discussed at the beginning of the meeting. Tom had sort of reviewed that with you, so that was discussed, and we asked him to move forward with getting an appraisal and getting more information and bring it to the full school committee. The last item was the vocational expansion grant that we met about last week. If you were here, you heard that whole discussion. If not, there was a grant that was upwards of $5 million that we potentially could have received. It was a very short time frame to get the grant submitted. There wasn't a lot of information at the time that we met on the 22nd, so we met, really took no action, and sort of moved along. We took it under advisement.
Any questions, Mr. Carrigan? If not, workforce, Mr. Olson?
Workforce has been meeting. We will continue to be meeting. Sorry, I shouldn't be so coy. Still in heavy negotiations with both the CAF and the paraprofessionals. We have a meeting scheduled for next Monday, again, to continue our deliberations and review. We still are on notice from the teachers that have given us their letter, they mentioned earlier. They basically asked to wait until we finish preparing CAF before we start meeting with them and discussing. So once we wrap up first two contracts, we'll get on to the next one.
All right. Okay, student advisory, Mr. Barber.
We have not met, but we have a meeting tentatively scheduled for November 18th.
Okay. And graduation gift, Dr. Turkey?
Yeah, we have not had a meeting, but I'm planning to have one in January after the holidays. We are open for donations. Again, this is solely a school committee project. And we have done well in the last 3 years, giving gifts out of $250 per person. Today, I think we have 250 in the kitty. I'd like to go one more, get another $1,000 so we can give out 5 graduation gifts. And that's about it for now. I'll be talking with Julie to set up some time. Okay, thank you.
All set? And financial planning, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We last met in conjunction with the Capital Improvements Committee. That was a couple weeks ago. That meeting has already been reported on. However, at the end of the meeting, we did address one issue that came up from our previous meeting of October 1st. We had decided to meet monthly and meet on the Wednesday prior to our regular school committee meeting so that if there were financial issues we had to discuss, we could do that. So looking at the calendar, the Wednesday prior to the December meeting is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So that's not going to work. So we said, well, that's all right. So then we went to December, and the meeting before the Wednesday, before the January regular meeting of the school committee is New Year's Eve, and the week before that is Christmas Eve. So we decided not to meet in December. So we have scheduled a meeting for January 21st, which is a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. That's a couple weeks prior to the February meeting, and we're doing that to be ready to review the proposed FY27 budget. So I'm just letting people know that that's what we're doing. And then I guess at this time, I would move that the district committee approve the recommendation of the financial planning committee to approve the final FY26 budget as follows. Total budget, $34,641,344, less revenues of $21,462,805, with total assessments to the sending districts of $13,178,539.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion or any questions of Mr. Brooks? Hearing none. Want to call a vote to it? Okay, motion passed. Now, financial statements. Anyone have any questions of Tammy on the financials? Mr. Pizarro?
Where would we find the real estate that we bought on the balance sheet?
It'll be in the audit report, under assets.
All right, it's not in the balance sheet that you circulate. Okay, thank you.
Wait, I don't put any fixed assets on the balance sheet either. But they're on the audit report. With the depreciation.
All right, anything else? None. Health insurance?
Move the district committee approve the health and dental insurance rates as presented with 25-26 plan year effective December 1st, 2025.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Tammy, anything you want to say about that?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any specific questions for me. The MedX increase, that's premium based and prescription Part D from Medicare, so those are fixed costs. The other plans are our self-insured plans. So these increases are based on our actual claims because we pay our own claims. We also hold insurance on our insurance. It's a stop loss insurance. And we currently have, our stop loss is $65,000. So if any one claim goes over $65,000, we get those funds back. Well, that comes at a relatively hefty cost. It's going up to, for a family plan, $875 per month for a family plan, just for the stop loss piece. But I do want to point out that this past year, we've gotten back from the stop loss, $1.5 million back for people for claims that exceeded that $65,000. We are coming into a contract year, so we can't make plan design changes outside of the Public Employee Committee contract that we have, that we negotiate with the union. But we are coming into that negotiating year, so we will be working with the union to look at plan design changes. Because most people on our plans pay 25%, and the district pays 75%. So these premium increases for the remainder of this FY26 cost the district budget about $350,000 additional dollars. So we will be looking to see what we can do there.
Mr. Malika, do you have a question? Yeah, I saw you raise your hand.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't even know that you saw me raise my hand that I didn't.
And just so everybody knows, just as the process piece, Unfortunately, this fall, because we do have a NEASC accreditation coming up, so a lot of our afternoon professional development time and everything else has really been dedicated to doing the NEASC reports and everything else. But next Thursday, we'll invite faculty, staff, if anybody wants to come down to the auditorium. Tammy will present, kind of go through everything, so the staff's can have all the information. We're going to record that because it's Thursdays are not usual meeting days, but that's, we thought we wanted to get, assuming that everything works out here, we want to get it out to people as soon as possible. So we'll record it and then we'll have it up, so any teacher who didn't get to come to the meeting will be able to get the information as well. And I think then there's connections directly with the folks at Blue Cross Blue Shield, correct?
Yes,
For
oh,
questions.
for questions, yes, I'm kind of the liaison with them, so any questions, we'll go back to them. One other thing you may have seen in the news is that Blue Cross Blue Shield is currently in contract dispute with UMass Medical Care Group. So hoping that they come to an agreement. It's over the costs. They have till January, end of January, to come to this agreement. Otherwise, those staff, those members who have UMass physicians will have to find another primary care physician. Those are retirees who are on our MedX plan are currently not affected by this and will not be affected by this. So that's kind of a big, scary thing too, because UMass is huge.
But they also, Blue Cross accounts for 47% of things, so they're not gonna walk
Yeah,
away from a lot of that, so we think they're gonna end up
We're very
settling.
confident that something will come, but right now it's very scary for the staff as well.
Like it's
So
Blue Cross.
we're kind of navigating through that as well right now.
All right, anything else? If not, we have a motion and a second. We call the vote, please. All right, let's talk about,
Mr. Chairman,
grant, a motion.
move that the district committee accept the skills capital grant for the MVP plumbing program in the amount of $500,000 from the Executive Office of Education.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I believe Mr. Brown already covered this, but anything else? If not, call the vote, please. All right. Accept the
Chairman?
donation. We have a motion.
I move that the district committee accepts the donation of miscellaneous structural steel stock from Tim's Fabricators, Inc. with an approximate value of $200 for the welding and metal fabrication shop.
Second?
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the vote, please. Okay,
65 pickup.
communications, teachers' proposals, nobody here. Report. I just want to talk briefly about the food thing. If you can make any donations to the basket of New York, it would be greatly appreciated. And also, remember your food, your local food pantries. I know in my town, the demand is overwhelming. So anything you can do with your local community, I'm sure it'd be greatly appreciated.
On that, we're supposed to email Ms. Carlson if we have more places that.
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
will do, okay.
Okay. School committee information proposals. Okay, let's go to comments. Anything?
I had the pleasure of talking with a plumber, graduated in 2003. He came to unhook my sink. I got a new sink. He came back 2 days later and hooked it back up again for me. Super, super nice guy. He loved this school, raved about it. He's got his own business now. And he said it was the best thing that he ever did. And so needless to say, we had an extra 20 minutes and I asked, we were chit-chatting and I asked him, you gonna charge me for that? He said, no. But no, super, super nice guy. Small business, so I was really happy to get somebody who comes out of Pittsburgh. So if you need a good plumber, give me a call.
Thank you.
Jada? John? Ross?
All set. Happy Thanksgiving.
I wish everybody a nice Thanksgiving upcoming and safe holidays.
Ms. Estes?
No.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes. I'd like to talk about the MVP program.
About what now?
The MVP program.
The MVP?
Yep. I'm very strong, obviously, I mean, I've been very open about, I think it's a phenomenal program, it's a great step forward, you're trying to offer more vocational programs to students. It's a step in the right direction. However, what I don't see is getting beyond this one program. So right now, only 3 out of the 18 communities are benefiting from this program that we manage. That, to me, is very troublesome, because the town I represent, Athol, doesn't benefit from any of this. Granted, the funds go specific to MVP, but we also pay a lot of our school budget funds in managing the program, stuff like that. So if we're not going to be seeing any light at the end of the tunnel of the state expanding the MVP program so we can get more communities involved in it, then I would like to see if there's a possibility of doing some type of rotational basis, where it's not just those 3 communities, that each year 2 or 3 other communities get an opportunity to send kids that year, and we keep rotating, so all 18 communities have an opportunity to get more kids through the school. You know, I know Tom's got a lot of pressure on this, not just from me, but other people, and I know Tom's done a phenomenal job, and I do thank you and everything you've done with the MVP, but I think now that it's in place, it looks like it's doing great. We're getting a lot of great, the politicians maybe start to wake up, but if we're not going to be adding more MVPs here, we need to start thinking about the other communities. And I can only speak for Athol, but I'm sure I don't speak alone on this issue.
Thank you. Brendan?
I'm just happy Thanksgiving to everybody, thankful for all of you and everything that you do.
Mr. Olson? Ms. Quinn?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Burns?
All set, thank you.
Mr. Cameron?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Broussard?
I would like to commend Kim Curry and Heather Gray. I reached out recently and connected them with a new Sterling general mechanical contractor. So actually they're going to be coming touring the fabrication.
Correct.
Is that what Heather does?
Yep.
Tomorrow morning, I believe. So hopefully we get another co-op possible. They've worked with Assabet because they just moved to us from Lancaster, Clinton.
More better.
So that's what I was telling them. But hats off to the Kim and Heather.
I don't want to be.
Actually, Mr. Brown, anything else?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Second. Adjourned.